through here. Streaming live. Yep, here. Good. Oh, streaming here. 1 second. My YouTube is a little bit slow here. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. So we had a wow, lots of issues with Twitter today. That was quite a shock to the system. So used to tweeting all day long, and then had a little bit of a down in Twitter today. YouTube. Let's see if it's coming to life here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I don't think I have anything in the background really affecting anything. Let's see. Make sure everything's coming through okay. I wonder if it has anything to do with Twitter today. Maybe there's like some shared servers or something like that. But it appears that the health is okay of the feed. I'm showing all the bandwidth coming through okay. I'm just checking the Twitter dashboard, just making sure. Okay, good. Hey, Harvey. Okay, all right. Let's just making sure everything's coming through okay. Sorry if it's a little bit slow here on the internet. Hopefully it goes through okay. But really excited about tonight's conversation too. So putting everything together. So real quick, let's take a look at the market today. Pretty good. Up 6 points. Never quite that easy, right? Never a straight line. But we'll take a look at the price action a little bit, and we'll discuss it a little bit too with putting everything together today. So and I will of course do my best to be on the charts, when we're going back and forth between the PDF. So. Or the PowerPoint. Anyway, all right, so here we go. So far the month is shaping up into a little bit of a green hammer here. So, but that's nice off of the prior green month. So still getting some follow through here. The weekly chart has been very constructive or productive. We had an inside week 2 weeks ago, and then last week took that inside week up, giving a hammer. And right now, with tomorrow being Friday, we're coming into it with a hammer on the week so far. So we'll see how that finishes up. If it comes back in and kind of comes back to that 2980 level, we'll finish with the doji obviously. But so far so good. We'll see if what tomorrow has to bring. Right now S&P futures are up 6 points, so that's really good. So we'll see if we get that continuation into the open. If the S&P, the SPX gaps over, that kind of 3,000 level tomorrow, it might be a gap and go day tomorrow. We'll see. So, but really, a lot of strength, kind of underlying in the market with some stuff. So there's your weekly, the daily chart. It's kind of been pretty choppy going around, but we've had some great moves inside day today. So we'll see again if we break over this level. We'll see where they put us. Again, it could push up. It might gap up a little bit, tag that, close the gap, and then go back up. Or it could reclaim the whole range and start filling some gaps below. But we'll see how that progresses. Okay, so from there, let's take a look at the price action of the day. Okay, so here is the 5-minute chart, and these are the levels of today. And so let's just kind of take a look at what we saw today. So pretty interesting stuff. We gapped up right again to that 3,000 level. Gave kind of a scary red bar at the open, and then tried to push up, gave you a topping tail here at the R1 level, and then ultimately worked its way back down. We'll discuss this in a little more detail later. Downward trend line here at the prior day's close, got through the daily pivot, right? Strong bar here, slight little bull flag, and then all the way back up, almost up to the R1 level again. Chopped around and then gave one big drop. This is right after the Fed's Bostic was talking, and all the Fed speak was done, and then boom, all the way back down to the prior day's open, and then and also a volumetric level down here too, and then came back, shot up really quickly, chopped, a little sideways move, measured move, all the way back up to that 3,000 level again. Close at 29.99.91. Okay, let's take a look at the sort of where we're at overall with the market, kind of big picture stuff. So again, we're right back up here at this pitchfork midpoint, upper midpoint line. So here's your pitchfork. This is the upper pitchfork. Here's the midpoint. Kind of comes through, right? Resistance, resistance. We're back at resistance here. So the real question is, can we get above this resistance maybe tomorrow and then push all the way up, maybe this 3,033 level? Don't think it's too far away because we do have new levels. Here's the levels for tomorrow, and again, these are provided to Positive Trend subscribers. We give it to them daily, typically after the market, so everybody has it ready for the next day. The next day's levels, right? We've got 3,005, 3,010. If it really wanted to, it could get up to that 3,018 level, and there's your 3,023 on the weekly R2. So So the market could have anything in store. So really, really good stuff. Okay, guys. So today's kind of discussion, just wanted to finish up with crossovers. And so real quick, just review this. And if you can, if you're watching the recording, just pause it, review it before going forward. Again, everything we're talking about is for educational purposes only, and not for investment advice. Okay, so today we're talking about day trading crossover strategies with Trendlines, and hopefully you guys had a chance to watch the 3-minute video on Trendlines. The link is also in the YouTube description here, so you can check that out as well. But really, really great stuff. So we're going to review that a little bit here today. So we're putting it all together today. So trend lines are one of the best tools for spotting changes in, guess what? Trend. That's why they call them trend lines. Okay? And so be sure to view the trend line video in the description and look for a high and a low. This is how to do it. Look for a high and a low, and draw a line from the low to the high or the high to the low, and move the line to adjust to the lowest or the highest pivot, the nearest one, right? So let's take a look at that. So this has a great example. It's a little cluttery. So let's go over here, and we'll put it all together with this one. Let me make this a daily chart. But it doesn't actually have to be a daily chart. So we could use this. This is on the S&P futures right now. So we'll just kind of look at this. So here is a recent low, right? And here's a recent high. So all you do is you take your trend line here, go up to the high, and then you pull it back to the nearest pivot before the high. You don't go to this pivot here, over here. You go to this one right here, okay? Or this one is whatever the nearest one is. So you go to that. Okay, so right now the trend, the short-term trend, is up based on the 5-minute chart, right? So what we do is when we look for crossovers, we look for crossovers of this trend line to see if there's a trend change. And the way we do that is we look for a minor pivot break and then a breakout over that minor pivot. Okay, so this happened a couple times here. So we could look at say from this high to this low, and there's your nearest accessible pivot without any other crossovers. Okay, so what this did was it gave a breakout here, and you could either use a breakout pivot bar, which was this one, and then any breakout above that becomes bullish, or you could use the overall trend range right here. So a breakout above this trend range gives a push to the upside, right? So that is your breakout of the downward trend, right? And you can see this happened earlier. Earlier here. So this was right last night, right? So this is our trend line we drew before bed. And then here's your upward trend line. Here's your breaking point right here. So the trend line has broken because this was the new high, right? So this is the next pivot down. It's a little not quite perfect, but anyway, so here it is. So here's your minor pivot area right here. This 3004 broke down 3004 and got all the way down to 3000. Okay? And then didn't get any follow through on that, came back in, chopped around, and then worked its way, kind of flattish, and kind of gave you the daily price action today. So that's kind of a basic of drawing trend lines, right? So this is really, really helpful stuff. Yeah, good. And I did switch over to this. Good thing. Okay, so that's the basic of drawing trend line. So once a trend line is in place, look for a crossover of the trend line and then a minor pivot above or below the trend line. So we just saw that, and look for an entry at that minor pivot. Okay, so we just took a look at that. So and we can also use that with our candles, or however we like to trade. Okay, so if the trend line crossover corresponds with a stochastic, and this is all the stuff we talked about this week, kind of bringing everything together. Okay, so if it corresponds with a stochastic, a moving average, and a level crossover, then more confidence can be gained in the entry. So let's take a look at a couple examples here from today. All right, so let me go over here. All right, so here we have Roku. I've already drawn this, and it looks a little bit cluttery, but let's kind of zoom in here to this downward trend line. Okay, so I could redraw this here if you'd like. Remove drawing. Okay, so you take your trend line, go to your high, go to your low. Okay, go to your next pivot without crossing over any others. That's this guy right here. Okay, so that gives you this line right here. Now I've already drawn. We have a script that takes into account all the floor pivots that we give to Positive Trend subscribers. And so here is your level right down here. Okay, so you can combine all this stuff. So we have the trend line. Here's your breakout bar right here. It was also corresponded with an inside bar that held this pivot level on Roku. Okay, these are all calculated levels. So inside bar was held here. What else happened? We also had a stochastic crossover right here. Okay, so all at this point, and then we have one more crossover right here, which is your 3 EMA and your 5 EMA gold cross. Okay, so I just kept the 3 as the blue, so we could look at the VWAP later. Okay, so here's your crossover point, right? Probably kind of triggered off of this bar right here, but this was also your minor pivot level as well. So okay, right? Okay to take an entry here. All right, a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a bull flag here. If your stop is below, say, this inside bar off the breakup bar, no problem, never stopped out. And the your trend line, your crossover points here, never crossed over. And then boom, it gives you one more inside bar as we get to the VWAP, which is this purple line right here. And then great place to potentially add, right? So, and then it just continued up all day. This 3 stayed over the 5 all day, all the way up through. This is actually the 60 anchor bar, this green and this red. That was a 60 anchor bar from yesterday, and gave a really, really nice push up to a major pivot level up here. And then, you know, I mean, you can continue to do this, right? So this is the, here's your trend line here. You can take it from, you know, kind of the relative low. Goodness, I can barely even see the highs here. Let me see. So here's this. Okay, put in your high like right here. So here's your pivot before that. Here's your breakdown bar, and it pushes right through this level, which is a midpoint level. It's a key level. Okay, pushes through that, right? And then, you know, that alone is a good entry. It broke through the trend line itself. It didn't give you the minor pivot. Your minor pivot would have been here, but could have given you a minor pivot on a shorter time frame. So here's your entry, inside bar right here, and then continues to push down. It also corresponded with a stochastic crossover and a death cross here on the 3-5 EMAs. And so, you know, combining the majority of those gave you also more sentiment to take this thing to the south, right? So another great move there. And then look, it could have been done again. Looks like just, you know, you kind of take this level, you take your low, right? You go to your next pivot here, which is right here, right? Here's your breakout point. Stochastic comes over, breakout through the trend line, breaks out through a major level, right? And then kind of, you know, gives you a little bit of a scary pullback right here, but only a 2 bar on the 5, and then pushes all the way back up to 104. So that shows Roku day trading, basically up, down, and then back up again one more time, just on Roku. Okay. Let's take a look at an example with SPY. Okay, let me zoom in here. So we got our levels up, we have our stochastic up, we have our trend lines up, right? So very, very similar to Roku. Here's your downward trend line. We'll zoom in there. Here's your downward trend line. Okay, it comes down to 2 key levels. You have a volume level and a pivot level right here. Okay, here's your trend line break, right? Nice, you know, green hammer bar. Right, pushes through that level. Here's your breakout of both the trend line, the stochastic. Here's your gold cross on the moving averages, and then the price itself broke through these 2 key levels. Okay, gave you an inside bar right here, actually a double inside bar. Great price action entry to take to the long side, and then could potentially add here as we get to the to the VWAP, right, which is also a tradable crossover entry, and then it's kind of worked its way up from there. So lots of great stuff on. I love days like this. I love doji days because you get ups and you get downs too. Because sometimes on trending days you miss the whole move because it's like, you know, if you have fears of missing out and you're waiting for a pullback, and sometimes they don't happen. So days like today, doji days are actually really fun to trade intraday. So you have this again one more time. You have your trend line here to your high, okay, to your previous minor pivot right here. All right, here's your breakout. Here you have a death cross right here on your moving averages. You have your stochastic corresponding right at the same level. You've got your crossover over through your trend line, and then you have, of course, you don't have a major level right here, so you're missing one factor. But still, you know, it put a couple topping tails near another key level. So it did chop around for a little bit. So this would have been, you know, a little bit painful with options, right? So you would have, you probably would have pulled back just on, you know, some theta decay and some lack of momentum. But then it finally broke through here and gave another push to the downside. Again, trend line break here. Let's pull that down here. Trend line here. Here's your low. There's your minor pivot right here. Okay, here's your breakout bar right here. It came off of a major level, right, a significant level. It broke your stochastic here. You had a gold cross actually, which happened right on the trend line, and then you had a nice push up here. A little bit of a measured move, you know, type chop that we looked at on the SPX, and then a push back up. And again, could also potentially add here or take profit, however you like to do it, right as we got a golden cross through the VWAP into the close, and then cash out before the end of the day. That is basically putting it all together. It's kind of like an ultimate trading trading philosophy, and I wanted to bring that culmination together today. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. So again, like I said here, finally, the VWAP crossover can be a point to trim some, right? Or like we talked about earlier, you could let the rest run, right? So you could trim a little bit. Say you have like 10 calls or something like that. You could take off 5 and just let the other 5 run. Or if you're aggressive, you could add, and then if the trend is still intact, if the new trend is still intact, so you could actually increase your profits by adding more at that crossover of the 3 EMA on the VWAP. So that is another possibility, right? All depends on your risk threshold and your trading plan. So yeah, so that is kind of the ultimate combination right there. So I hope you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those into the chat window now, and we'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up by like 10:30 so we can get a good night's sleep and finish up the week going into Friday tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have some good lottos tomorrow. Also remember, tomorrow is Friday, so it is a lot of options expire, right? Option expiration day if you're trading the weeklies. So just be careful. Think about trading next week's options so you don't get assigned at the end of the day. That is never a fun thing to happen. So just a little something there. So good stuff. Harvey, thank you for tuning in. Good to see you, man. B, hello. Good to see you. NetFry, hello. Experience and thoughts, hello. Perry Hansen, hey, how's it going? Experience and thoughts. Would like your take on GS and NVIDIA. So yeah, let's take a look at GS, absolutely. So GS apparently today, right here, let's go up to the our normal charts here. So apparently today, I don't know what they were blabbing about today, but GS had a great move today. Inside bar right here, inside 60 bar, you guys know I like to trade these, over the VWAP, and they gave a nice push here to the upside all the way from this 208 level all the way to 212. So in terms of a day trade, that was a great trade on Goldman Sachs today. Let's take a look at how it's doing overall. So this is this long-term channel that it's been since what was this? Early 2018. Kind of been working its way up into this channel. Had one undershoot of the channel here as we got to those December lows. Christmas reversal back up. Top of the channel tried to work its way back down, failed. Holding this channel right now over volumetric levels and kind of working its way back up. So so far as we go into earnings season next week, which I am looking forward to, especially anybody else who follows us along on our orb trades. The trend is still up until proven otherwise. Its earnings are the 16th, so we should be seeing those Tuesday. So, and this is before the market open. So good stuff. So we should see if this trend continues. If it does, it's got volume level right here at this 226 level. I mean, it can get all the way up here to this pivot at 234. So we'll see how that handles. If not, it's got a gap to fill here, gap to fill here, gap to fill here, right? All sorts of stuff going on. Or it could just kind of come back to the channel top, if it even gets back in the channel. So that's definitely GS. NVIDIA, so far so good. Awesome day today, finally, with NVIDIA. This is one we looked at in the live stream this morning. A lot of subscribers took some profits on this one today. Let's take a look here. Okay, so NVIDIA, really, really good stuff, right? So it gapped up today. It had here's the news on it. The reason it was at 15 orb today is there was in fact, Christian Fromhertz tweeted it out. I didn't even see it here, but this company called Cassend raised it to a buy rating. And I've never heard of these people before, but I'm definitely going to pay attention to them now because this is a good one today. But I researched them a little bit. They've got a website, and but their Twitter page has got 10, not many followers on it. So for a big, for a research firm, you'd think they would have more, but who knows anyway, whatever. So anyway, they had a big upgrade today. 60-minute bar, right, takes that to the upside. The 15-minute orb, I don't know where that bar is. I must have cleaned it off earlier when I was doing charts. But here's your 15-minute orb. A subscriber actually pointed out this bull flag during the live stream today. So nice bull flag here at the 15 orb top, and then give a great breakout right here. So that was from 164 all the way up to this 167 level. So this is one of the best movers of the day today. That and Costco. So very, very constructive. It closed above the 15 orb today. Nice finish with some volume, green. And then let's take a look at the daily chart here. So daily chart, current trend is obviously still up until proven otherwise, right? So it's kind of working its way up. Nice spinning top. So we'll see if we can get some continuation in tomorrow, and if the futures stay up here 7 to 10 points, that could be a really nice, really nice one for tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Callsaw, hey, what's going on, Diz? Good to see you, man. Manoj, hello. Best kept secret. Good evening. Enjoy Life Apparel. Hello all. Call saw SWK, please. And you love Diz. Excellent. My pleasure, my pleasure. All right. Yeah. I don't know why everything is going. Why Thinkorswim is like freezing up on us here. Okay. Maybe I haven't pulled this chart in a while. Yeah, really interesting here actually. So nice 180-degree reversal. Didn't quite reclaim the full bar of this this red day here, but a nice pullback here. So it's finding some support, right? Support. Lots of volume today too. So that's good. Nice finish here on the 60. Yes, a strong finish there. That's good. Let's take a look at the our daily chart here. Okay, yeah. So far so good. Trend is up-ish. Okay, it's starting to break down. Here's your minor pivot. Really, the key level to hold is this 141.26. If it gets below that, right, it can start to move down. So what we want this to do is put in a new high so we can move this trend line over. So we really want to get above this 148.36 level. So once it gets over this 148.36, I think it could be good. That'll push our trend line. For instance, if it does that in a couple days, that would make our trend line look like this, and then we go up. So looks good. Earnings coming up end of the month. So yeah, so a little bit tricky here, a little bit kind of tricky chart here. But I do like your cup. I do like this kind of pullback handle, and we'll see if that that can get that kind of that breakout move. And then Disney, of course. So anybody who wants to see Disney, just great stuff. A little bit of a topping tail today. Let's wait till everything kind of comes through here. I don't know why it's a little delayed. Maybe it's because I got that really complex chart on the other screen. Yeah, like we said, trend is up until proven otherwise. And notice, my friends, that this is topping tail off of the fib fan line. Okay, so just be careful here. It might pull back a little bit. Might be waiting until the Lion King comes out, and then, so it might pull back here, and then Lion King comes out. Has awesome new records, and then pushes through the fib fan line. So just kind of keep that in mind there too. But great trade on Disney, man. Sarah, how's it going? Good evening. Session, what's happening? CRM looking to be figuring out its direction. Yeah, I got a tweet on this, or a DM on this one today. So strong move today. Lots of stocks had some strong moves today, which is great. Because man, remember Monday? It was just so blah. It was Monday, right? It was like one of these days this week was just like I can't remember, but everything was just like, okay, is anything going to move today? Anyway, so here we go. So here's your up. Yep, definitely kind of looks like it's working its way back up. It's got to get through this resistance zone, those sessions. So you can see it sometimes struggles in this area. But if it can get above this area and kind of work its way up, it could finally do it. So that's CRM for you. It's had some pretty good write-ups too, fundamentally that are saying that some of its acquisitions are starting to pay off, et cetera, et cetera. So that could be good. TTD. Why isn't TTD moving? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. It's TTD likes to move when it's ready, and when it does, it really moves. Look at that, 37 point bar, 22 point bar. Even these bars, right? 12 points, 11 points, etc., etc. Not quite an inside bar, but pretty constructive here. So let's check out our trend line here. Here's kind of a recent one there. So bullish until proven otherwise on that. HD with the hurricane rally. So we're going to sway up. So this was actually an initiation as a buy from Goldman Sachs today too. They called out a lot of retail this morning. I didn't add all of them to the 15 orb list because I just don't want it to be like so many stocks that we were catching. I did draw what it did today on the 15 orb, and so this was this. So here's your upgrade, right? Here's your upgrade bar, gaps up, gives you a 15 orb, kind of chops around here at the bottom, right? Actually gives you like a 1, 2, like a triple inside 15. And then it starts to break that one to the upside. So that's actually a perfect entry right here. As it starts to get stronger, that gives you 211 all the way up to the orb break right here to 212, and then even higher up to 213. So nice 2-point move from there. Otherwise, your orb break is still pretty good, 212.46 to almost 1 point here to this 213 level. Chopped around, and then nice push up into the end of the day. So we'll check that on the 30 orb tomorrow. And then SPLK. And guys, we got just a FYI, we've got some great guests that are scheduled to come up. Just working out some schedule type things right now, so really looking forward to some of the guests we have in the queue, just to offer their insights into the market and kind of go from there. So SPLK, really nice move today. Let's see how that did on the 60s here. Yeah, nice little look at that triple doji sandwich up. So it's like a baconator or something like that, a dojinator. Wow, where is this? How come this hasn't been on our radar? Big moves. I mean, nice trend line here. I mean, you could kind of draw it from this one too. There's your level right there. So definitely holding this trend line up. I mean, you could even draw a channel too. But just after this big move, just watch and see how it handles that fib fan line, and then see if it gets any resistance up there. Again, guys, it closed over the upper Bollinger Band here, right? And your RSI is overbought, so that is an indication for a potential pullback. So just be careful of that. So, but really nice move up there. Good stuff. Best kept secret. Great explanation. Is awesome. Yeah. So definitely think about tying those together. I'm it's a great tool to have. So we're gonna start analyzing that in the private Twitter. Looking at SPY and everything like that. So it should be some good stuff with that. Thank you very much. TJF, Amazon. What's going on? So Amazon is actually going to be, well, I mean, who knows? It'll probably gap up with everything else tomorrow if the futures stay strong here. So Amazon, if the chart could pull up, I thought it was bearish engulfing based on my other chart. Huh. Okay, so I thought it was a bearish engulfing bar. If anything, it's dark cloud cover. So you have this has engulfed the entire bar here and then closed below 50% of the range of this one. So it does have dark cloud cover here. Got a little bit of death cross here on the kind of this area here, this little indicator, and so that's looking like it might be losing a little bit of steam. So look to see if it possibly fills this gap tomorrow. But if the market's strong tomorrow, I mean, Amazon should go along with that. So we do have that to the advantage today. Interesting stuff here, though, on the hourly chart. It had a double inside 60. I've done some videos on this before. This double inside 60 here, this breakdown under the VWAP, gave a huge move right to the short side. Okay, so that was what level? 2028 all the way down to so like almost a 24-point move, folks. That was a big move on Amazon today, and then it gave you another inside bar and another push down at the end of the day. So we'll see. We'll see if it wants to fill that gap tomorrow, but definitely use this bar as a reference for the open tomorrow. So just to gauge where we're at. B, what's going on? Yeah, Diz. Okay, so we just reviewed that, but let's take a look at PayPal. Wow, PayPal, awesome. Yeah, they came out with, actually, this should have been on the radar for me. They came out with, or for us, but they came out with some good earnings type stuff, and gave a nice breakout today. Nice hammer bar, but just be careful. This could also turn into a hanging man, as it also closed over its upper Bollinger Band, and the RSI is getting overbought. So just be careful with that for a possible pullback. But it's overall looking bullish. And then DAL. So DAL was a 15 orb trade today. It they had great guidance, good earnings and all that stuff. But of course, it's an airline stock, so it kind of does blob. But let's kind of, once this thing moves, so it gave a big, nasty red spinning top on the day. So let's just take a look at what the 15 orb did today. So here is, I think I had just done a preemptive orb on this. Activate. So it filled the gap right away. There's your 15 orb. This is your top, this is your bottom. Okay, inside bar right here. So give a nice quick scalp long through that orb right there. Then kind of give you a tweezer top bar, 180-degree reversal back into the orb range. Just kind of chopped around that upper orb level all day. So, but that was pretty much the one breakout point right here. So tried again over here for a little bit, but not much. I mean, the airlines are pretty boring to day trade, right? So, but overall, doji right now. So I mean, the trend has been up. It filled its gap. So I mean, the question is it just going to kind of go sideways for a little bit, which is possible, right, on these airlines type things. Activate that again. That goes right there. Okay, so it could kind of chop around for a little bit. So, but just keep an eye on that. Session Snap. Snap was also upgraded today. It's just, it's it's tricky. It's a tricky one to trade. So I didn't even include it on the orbital today. Again, a little bit, didn't quite close over the upper Bollinger Band, but got close. RSI overbought too, so kind of a possible pullback zone up. Here's your pivot level right here. So, but it is bullish until proven otherwise. If we look at the 15 orb here, it was kind of within that range all day. So just kind of, you can see how difficult this one is to trade. It's just flat, and it's cheap, and then the options are cheap. But if you can catch a run, it'd be great. But it's more of a, if you can catch a good setup on a swing trade, like, so the setup on this would have been here. And we'll keep an eye on it too on the short side too, because if it does break down this upward trend line, it could be actually an overall bump and run. It might give a push down, but it has been in a great uptrend since. Tough to catch. It's just tough. This is just a tough one to trade. It had gotten like an upgrade. I mean, here's kind of like a little bit of a trend line right here, kind of a breakout, minor pivot break, but then it just chopped sideways for a while and then pushed. So it's just a tricky stock to trade. Facebook. It's not like our fangers. Facebook. All right, Facebook 2. Dark cloud cover as well, very similar to Amazon. Didn't quite close over the upper Bollinger Band, but it is starting to pull back a little bit. This is actually going to be on the 15 orb list for tomorrow, guys. I don't know what it's doing after market here. It's actually holding up pretty well. There was some tweets from the president saying that it doesn't like crypto, and this thing's got more work to do and all that stuff. So that this could be in play tomorrow as well. So it had a big move up. We were shooting for this confluent zone here at the fib fan and the fib arc. Doesn't like it can get there unless it just launches tomorrow. And but we'll see. We'll see what it does. It's got earnings coming up, of course, at the end of the month with the rest of the with the FANG stocks. Hey Shirley, how's it going? Oh, you're in Louisiana. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, prayers for you and your family, and I hope you make it through okay. I know it's rough with that hurricane coming right at it again. So, hope everybody makes it okay. Harvey, what's going on? We got Beyond. Let's take a look at Beyond. Beyond has been still beyond belief, right? We talked about this yesterday. Kind of triangle, kind of blah, and it broke out today. So, I mean, this is what it is. This is really tough to trade, guys. The spreads are tough on the options. We talked about this today in the live stream at the open. But if you look at the weekly options here, you have to be really convicted on it, for it to go. It's actually improved a little bit. I guess it's getting more volume, but it used to be like $1 spread on it. But right now it's 20 cents. This is actually pretty nasty right here. This is 60 cent spread on that. Yeah, so they're still pretty bad. But this here is only 5 cents. So a little bit out of the money is a little bit safer to trade with this one. A couple of these are pretty good, 20 cents right here. But some of them just get really, really nasty. And they can move like that intraday too. So it's really tough to trade. But but nice breakout point here. I mean, at this point with this strength, it might be able to get back up to those levels again, just for the fun of it, right? Netflix. Netflix. A little bit of topping tail here, right, off of this upward trend line. This never carries over right from the bar chart. So here's your high, your relative high, here's your relative pivot low. So now you have kind of it put in this breakdown bar here. So I'm thinking anywhere below, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day, anywhere below 377.40. Hopefully everything just gaps up huge tomorrow, if anybody's long, of course. But it's possible we could see some divergences with the NASDAQ. Actually, let me put the NQ up there so we can see that. Yeah, NASDAQ is up 18. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so sorry, Harvey. Yeah, so it could be interesting. Tomorrow could be an interesting day. Especially if Netflix, breaks down below that level. So, we could potentially see, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix going down. So we could see, FANG kind of coming down, but at the same time, we could see, a lot of these other stocks, kind of shooting up too. So it's we're seeing just some divergences here in the setups. But overall, I mean, a lot of these setups are really bearish. Right? We got dark cloud cover on Amazon, dark cloud cover Facebook. We've got this kind of topping tail right here, not quite an inside day, right? by 20 cents. You know, really bearish, you know, kind of shooting star type pattern. So it'll be interesting to see how tomorrow kind of trades out. TGF, let's see Amazon and Beyond. Yeah, so we looked at Amazon just a little bit above there for you, and we just looked at Beyond just now. So hopefully you got to see those. Trina, how's it going? PSMT. Yeah, let's take a look at that. PSMT. Wow. That's a bar right there, isn't it? I'll give it a sec. This thing to load here. Price smart. Shop smart. Shop price smart. Anyway, so shop S smart, right? Anyway, so huge bullish engulfing bar today, right? This is a little bit kind of small capish for me, right? Low volume and all that stuff, but had some volume coming in today. But this bar is incredible, right? They really bought this up. They tried to gap it down. Had actually pretty good earnings on it, so the gap down and then reverse must have had some good guidance off of that. And what it did is it got over its cloud right here. So, so this is actually very bullish, right? So we could see, you know, some continuation, right? It's under its 200 moving average, so you know we could see like a little bit of chop, maybe come back in the cloud a little bit, try to break out again, and ultimately you want to get up to that 200 moving average and be above it. But today it got over its 50, so we'll see if it'll work its way up that way. All right. Colossal, yeah, no problem. Albert, what's going on? Really like the VL crossover the other week and for confirmed buys. Thanks, Albert. Yeah, absolutely. And I think they're really powerful, right? Because when you have that stochastic, because if you're trying to get reversals, which are, you're not calling bottoms, you're just trying to get confirmation that a reversal is happening, right? It happens all the time, day trading, and it happens on our daily charts too for swing trading. And you know, if we can just get that little extra confidence and kind of have everything align, right? You've got your trend line break, you've got your golden cross, you got your stochastic crossover, right? And then, you know, leading up into the VWAP break, and then also a key level too. If you could kind of put all those together, I mean, that just gives us about as much confidence as you could get, right, in a trade. So you know, I think if all of those align, I think it's worth a shot, right? All right, let's take a look at Tesla. Absolutely. So Tesla gave us, that was the only one of our, you know, our high beta stocks here that I have listed under the FANG section here. They gave us an inside 60 anchor. So we're going to take a look at that. I really like on the daily what it's doing here. Right, here's your kind of downward trend line. It broke out over that. You know, gave a couple important price levels today and yesterday as it released its numbers, but it's finally out of the cloud. And so once it's out of the cloud, it has the potential to go, right? So let's see. So we've got a couple gaps above here. We've got a gap here at this kind of 243 level. So if we kind of keep pushing, we could get there. We've got another pivot level right here at 258. But getting out of this cloud is really important for Tesla. So that's a big deal. TGF, no problem, my pleasure. Wendy, good morning. Good to see you. Let's see. So Cost, NVIDIA, and VA. So we looked at those, but just real quick, Costco. I don't think we looked at Costco. I think I just kind of mentioned it. So Costco is awesome. It is really moving here. Big push up. Obviously, it's a little bit risky. It's closed over the upper Bollinger Band, but it just is. It likes to build. Costco is just one that likes to build, right? So once it moves, right, it gives you like these big pushes. It could build, right, and then continue to work its way up. So that is very possible here. Upward trend line. This is your kind of short-term upward trend line here, so it's still kind of working its way up. This is a great trade today too, off the 15 orb, right inside 15. Kind of just a little bit of measured move right here, and then push its way back up. So Costco is super strong. Again, this was basically upgrade initiated by Goldman Sachs today. So nice move with that. So hoping looking for some follow through with that. Into the future here. NVIDIA, same thing. We took a look at that again, but I definitely don't mind talking about all these. Right? So nice move here with NVIDIA. Good push up today. Nice close as well. You can see this trend line here. It broke out of the downward trend line. This is what we're hoping for this week. Finally gave us an entry today off of a 15 orb and pushed its way up, and then closed above that for some potential continuation moves. Right? Got a little golden cross right here. This mid Bollinger Band is crossing over the 50 moving average too. So see that little bow tie right there? That little golden cross? That's bullish. That's the 20 MA because the mid Bollinger Band is the 20 MA. Crossing over the 50 MA. So really good stuff. And we're approaching that 200 too. So it'd be great if all that stuff could get over it. BA's been obviously always tricky, but big move today too. Got over its 50 moving average as well. So we'll see if that could hold. It's just been bullish. So from here, See if that can hold, and then eventually hopefully get out of the cloud on that one. Here was the downward trend line break. This was your kind of minor pivot levels right here. This is definitely a minor pivot level from yesterday. So once it broke yesterday's highs, it got that momentum push to the upside. So good stuff. No problem. Be my pleasure. Wendy, my pleasure. Casey, CVS. Let's take a look. Sorry, Shirley. All right, so CVS. Let's take a look. Yeah, big gap up today, guys, for all these kind of anything related to drugs, pharma type stocks. Lots of these gapped up today, especially Walgreens, CVS. Had a apparently they're allowed to get kickbacks from the pharma companies and all that stuff. So that was bullish for it to gap up at the open. It did pull back, so just be careful with that. There's a gap below now. So definitely use caution with that, Shirley. And here's the 15 orb right here. There's your 15 orb right there. It broke that to the downside, closed below it. So just be careful with that. That is has some potential, some danger potential. But it did give it is still upward trending from here. Okay, but the thing is just watch for pullbacks. But look at that. It's holding its fib fan. Isn't that magical? So held that really, really well. So yeah, I think you do have potential on this. Just be careful with a pullback. Big gap below. If it doesn't find support there, it could start to fill it. And it closed, kind of near the lows a little bit. So just be careful with that. But it got a little bit of a move at the end, and I am losing position here. There. Good. DAL, we looked at that a little bit earlier. Experience and thoughts. How do you add pivot points on Thinkorswim? I found a few of them in studies, but they're different from TradeStation, which you prefer. So basically, there's a video I did. Let me put that video link in here. Pivot. Where do I do that? Levels. Level. Hold on a sec. Trading levels. I think that's it. Pretty sure this is it. Yeah. I'm going to put a link here to the video where we talk about that. And then experience your thoughts too. If you want to DM me too, I can send you some more stuff on that too. So through Twitter. Casey, CTL. But yeah, that video I just tweeted out, like we did a whole session on that. It goes over the like the formulas and all that stuff. So you can just calculate those on your own. I have like a little spreadsheet that I use to do it, right? So so good stuff. And then in that video there should be a link to like the Investopedia page where it shows you those calculations too. So yeah, so CTL surely gave you that nice push up, so that's good. So still working its way up, had that kind of sideways move. Now here's your high. Now the trend is truly up until proven otherwise, so that's good. UNH, I didn't even get a chance to look at this stock today, but it had a big move today and it closed on its highs. So really, really strong on UNH. Golly, it chopped around for a long time, didn't it? And then finally gave a big breakout bar today. That's incredible. So that, I guess today's news really, kind of helped the insurance stocks too. So big breakout today, back in the pitchfork. I would imagine after a move like that, you'll see a little bit of sideways action. But next level is kind of like this 280, 285 area. So I think you're looking pretty good on that. Call salt, shown to you about, yeah, exactly. That's going to be a new 15 orb for us. TME. Big move here, Shirley. I mean, TME has been great. This is, this really, does some Elliott wave stuff. We had, 1, 2, 3. This could be 1, 2, 3. Nah, it kind of broke its wave count right here. But if anything, A, B, C, it could be working on wave 1 here. It might be pulling back here, Shirley, to this. See how it kind of gave you a big topping tail here, filled all its gaps, topping tail at this this major volumetric level 2, and then it could pull back to that 14 level. So just keep that in mind. PM. A little bit of breakout there, through volumetric stuff. So PM is tough to trade, and surely you're more patient than I am. So, you know, it does give nice setups right here, right? So it's like A, B. I was looking for a breakout here earlier. It pulled back a little bit farther. So I mean, it could be working on this right here, type thing. So, but it finally got over this level after, you know, nasty pullback, a little minor cup and handle, a little cup pattern right here. So it scalloped, however you want to say that, and then it could be working its way up. Just be careful trading PM. It's just kind of, you know, blah. So your high, how's it going? 87. Did we cover KL yet? No, we didn't. It just chopped in meow. What's up? So KL. Let's see how your gold is doing right now. You know, so far so good. I mean, it is just kind of working its way up. This whole you know, fib fan line. It looks like you got a nice bull flag. It's got right here. It's actually, it looks like it probably broke out of that today. So so could give more upside, but it's just you know, just be careful with it, right? I mean, maybe it can get up to like this 45 level, you know, but you know, this looks like a little bit of a tricky one to trade right here. But yeah, but nice bull flag right there on KL. No problem, Trina. My pleasure. Manoj, BA, team, and now. Okay, it's like, okay, I'll get to it. Right, like now, like do it now. Just kidding. Right. Anyway, it's like, oh, you don't have to rush me. All right, let's see. I don't know. My fingertips a little bit stally today. So BA, yeah, we just looked at this a little bit ago. Again, super strong, you know, move today. I know you can barely see it right here with all, like the trend line on it and all that stuff, but it's been working its way back up. So, you know, it did a great job, got over its 50 moving average. So the next goal is getting out of the cloud, and hopefully they can get themselves out of hot water with all their stuff that's been going on. They did lose their program manager for the 737s, so that's kind of like duh, you know, type stuff. But I don't know. They've got a lot of stuff going on. They had the that one airlines, Canadian Airlines, had to was going from Vancouver to Australia and had to stop in Hawaii because of some issues. So anyway, just be careful with this. Team also closed above the upper Bollinger Band with RSI overbought range inside day. So watch out if it breaks down below today's low. That could start, you know, could push its way down this 137, 133. Here's your mid Bollinger Band at kind of that 133 area. So just be careful with team. And then now, no. Again, very similar. Give you a topping tail over the upper Bollinger Band too with RSI overbought. You see what happened last time? It kind of closed above the upper Bollinger Band with the RSI kind of high. Right? Gave it kind of a pullback. So just be careful with that. I mean, it's just you know, it's definitely upward trending. I mean, so just you know, it's bullish until proven otherwise, right? So there's your trend, but inside day. So if it does break down, it might just retest that trend line 297, and then, you know, it might be a good place to get back in, you know, that type of stuff. So, oh no, Jay. It's all good. You know what the best part is that we record these. So so I'll tweet that out later too. So so yeah, it's all good. It's the only thing that's sad is I didn't get to say hi to you earlier. Hello. But anyway, I hope you're doing well, man, and I hope everybody's doing great. Jay, you definitely want to review this one. This kind of puts everything together from this week. You know, we put together just to kind of show you what we talked about today, real quick. You know, here is let's look at SPY. I guess we look at Goldman Sachs, we look at any of them, right? So Goldman Sachs was just moving all the way up today, so that wasn't really a big reversal trade. But SPY, you can just kind of look at this, you know, combining everything together that we talked about this week. You know, we've got all our levels here, right? So these are our key levels. Okay. We talked about trend lines today. So we had a reversal today. So here's your downward move here, right? And your trend line crossover was right here, which also corresponded to a key level. It also corresponded with a stochastic crossover, which also corresponded with a golden cross on your 5-3 MA, right? Your 3-5 MA. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 things that all kind of aligned together, and look what that did. Give you a nice move to the upside, right? Then we did it again. Here's your upward trend line right here. You're following our trend line rules, right? Give you a breakdown, crossover here through the trend line, a death cross here on the 3-5 EMA, a crossover here on the stochastic, all stars aligned. It chopped a little bit, right? But I mean, it's hard to see, but it kind of the crossover, the 3 EMA and the 5 EMA stayed flat through this area, but then it continued down. And then you had your 3 EMA cross through the VWAP here and give you another entry point through here. Then we had this downward trend line, right? So this downward trend line here went to a key level, stochastic crossover, gold cross on your EMAs, trend line crossover, right? All stars align, everything pushes up nicely, right? And then look at that, came a nice move up to the end of the day. A little bit choppy here, which is difficult with options because you sit there and you stare at it. It kind of pulls back premium, right? So here on regular charts, right, it gives you a regular price, but in your options, this actually was going down, right? And then you got that nice spike at the end of the day. So, but putting these tools together and combining them all, it gives like the ultimate reversal strategy. So anyway, so that was kind of the big thing today. So, but all good. Harvey, thank you, my friend. No problem, Jay. All good. And Uri, awesome. My pleasure. 80 p.m. MGMT. Let's take a look at ZM before we zoom out of here. So ZM has been also tricky, as is with trading altogether. You just have to find your setup and go for it, right? And then know your risk, right? And then and don't be upset if the risk gets hit, right? So because you have to prepare for it ahead of time. So you're always safe, right? And then the winners, if you're 50%, and your winners outweigh your losers, you're gonna win. Plain and simple. It's all math. So ZM, a bit of a bearish engulfing bar. Didn't quite, have a totally engulf it, right? Didn't tag it with the upper shadow, but the real body, bearish engulfs this one. So it's looking a little bit iffy, right? Here's your downward trend line that it kind of broke out of here. Minor pivot up. Inside bar, breaks it up, pulls back a little bit, and it's, in a way, still holding kind of a larger upward trend line, a couple of these. So, I don't know, I just chop around for a while, honestly. It all depends. I mean, volume's still pretty good, but, eventually I think it could work itself and retest that 100 level. We just have to find the right setup to do it, right? So this is actually kind of a morning star reversal here. Yeah, it wasn't quite a red bar, but it wasn't really a reversal pattern, actually. It was kind of a morning star on the way up, so those really don't count. But anyway, that's ZM too, so we'll see how that ends up working itself out. But anyway, good stuff. By the way, ZM is great. We do our live streams on that, and it's I think the quality is really good, and they're really receptive to ideas that you have if you talk to them. So that's kind of cool, and they got good customer service. But anyway, oh yeah, Albert, real quick, let's look at Ameren. Yeah, so Ameren, nice bar today. It gave a, look at that, inside day here, breaks out to the downside, kind of pushes down again, and then gives a nice hammer today, nice reversal hammer today. So so that also could get some continuation back and retest those levels. That 23 level is key for this stock, right? But just be careful if it's a double hanging man and then you've got this gap below. So just something to keep in mind with that. So good stuff. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope we tied everything together this week real nicely. I think it was a good series. Looking forward to next week already, and tomorrow is Friday, so just it's Lotto Day. Think about next week's options just to stay safe, and of course remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.